Good morning YouTube, welcome to the latest video. Today I'm going to be doing a Whoop versus Apple Watch comparison. Let's go. Yes team, so I have had a Whoop now for the last 4 months, 5 months. I've obviously had an Apple Watch for a couple years, so I've been wanting to make this video for a while, to be honest, but I wanted to give a true understanding of Whoop. I wanted to really understand everything that's around the genius that's a part of Whoop, the things that you can go into, the data that's alongside it, and give you then a true comparison of Whoop and the Apple Watch. Before we obviously get into this video, make sure you've dropped it a like. If you are new to the channel, make sure you've hit that big red subscribe button, and let's get into the video. So first things obviously first, sleep. We've got to go through the sleep elements on both. Whoop, I would say on the sleep side, obviously the whole basis around Whoop is around your performance, is around your recovery and how you're going to sleep to optimize those two elements, to optimize your performance and optimize your recovery. That is mainly what I wanted a Whoop for. Getting into the app statistics side of things, so as we said, Apple, you have to use your own apps. Like, you have to get one off the app market. The best one I found was one called Auto Sleep. It looks like this. So obviously I now don't track my sleep on Apple because I just use the Whoop. I just let my Apple charge overnight, so therefore that's probably 1-0 to Whoop. But obviously to take you through the app, to take you through everything that's involved, and then I'm going to take you through Whoop. So little bits and bobs you can go into, like it goes into my sleep and my readiness score, my sleep debt, my overall sleep rating, 98%, obviously 7 hours and 20 minutes of sleep, 5 hours 21 of quality sleep, and 1 hour 46 of deep sleep. So this will be interesting to obviously compare when we look at our Whoop. So first thing you're going to see is your recovery score. So that is basically how much sleep you have had based on yesterday's cardiovascular strain. So that is the way Whoop works. It works to a strain on the day. Obviously Apple uses your movement, but the sleep isn't taken in consideration with the movement. The Whoop is just solely based on what you've done yesterday, what you've then done last night, and how you're then feeling today. The first thing what we can do is, usually I dismiss this so I could do it with you, is you can basically then go through a journal. So you go through, like, did you travel on a plane? No. Have you had any alcoholic drinks? No. Did you wear blue light blockers? I did. Did you do any breath work? I didn't. Did you have any caffeine? And blah, blah, blah. CPD. You can go in all through these things. I'm not going to bore you. I'll just flick past these all. Once we're through the journal, that's basically it's Whoop's way of tracking data. So in terms of an hour's sleep, we're fairly consistent. 7 hours and 9 minutes compared to 7 hours and 21 minutes. That's fairly close. Then when we go to our deep sleep, 1 hour 46. In fairness, Whoop for a REM says 140. Fairly consistent on obviously the same kind of data that Apple is giving out. What I prefer is obviously when we go in here, looking like your awake stages. So obviously there's a period in the night where I've obviously just been waking up, maybe went to the loo, I can't even remember. But it basically then just scores you out. So you've got like your time in bed, any disturbances. So obviously I had 2 more than my usual average. My efficiency was actually down on this, whereas my efficiency on Apple said I was a 98% sleep rating. According to Whoop, I was only a 79%. I'm gonna listen to Whoop a little bit more just because I trust the data that is taken into consideration. As I said, to go through a little tally obviously through the day, I'm going to give Whoop 1-0 on the sleep data. The information, the data it collects is second to none when it comes to feedback with everything to do with sleep. Something I love on the sleep side of things as well. So we can go in, obviously, like, it gives you little memos as well. So saying that when I wear blue light blockers, my sleep and REM duration typically increases by 41%. So it's saying that when I don't wear blue light blockers in the evening, I don't know, maybe like at Christmas when I wasn't at home and I maybe didn't have them on in the evening, that then affects my sleep, my deep REM sleep, by 41%. That is insane amount. You can then go through, obviously see your past week's data. So I'm looking at like my performance based on the last week's, telling me I don't get enough sleep. My biggest problem is obviously the way we train. I need 10 hours recovery sleep, which is a lot. So you can go into Sleep Coach, and then it basically is telling you what you need to do this evening. So if I wanted to peak performance tomorrow, it would basically telling me that I need to be in bed at 9:22 and my perfect time to wake up is 8:22. It's basically uses information on when you wake up, when you're awake, when you're like most asleep, when you're not most asleep, to give you the perfect time to sleep on your circadian rhythm, so on your sleep cycle. It basically is telling you what your perfect sleep cycle is. So like if I was to perform, it's telling me again, get to bed by 11 o'clock, be waking up at 8:22. That's the best time for me to perform. Whoop goes into a lot of data on the sleep. It gives you a lot of feedback. I like the journal capacity, because obviously that's gonna, like with the blue light blockers, it's telling you data that you need to take an eye on. Things like alcohol, it will tell me like, oh, alcohol is affecting your recovery, which obviously isn't rocket science. We all know that does. So we've obviously got to take those into consideration. Now let's train so we can compare the two. Sarah and I are going to do a workout this morning, so let's get on with it. Okay, so we're about to do an EMOM workout. It's going to be 36 minutes long. We've both got one dumbbell each, and we're basically just going to be alternating between different movements that we're going to go through the minutes. We've split it into threes, and we're basically just going to work through it all. As I said, what I'm going to do is obviously play my watch on a workout mode, play my Whoop on a workout mode, and then we can see the comparison after.
I think it's snapped from this people.
Now, okay, workout complete. That was a nice little tasty way to obviously start Saturday. EMOM every minute on the minute, so it's a case of some consistent working. Probably one of my favorite things to do, especially at home, but I use it all the time. Like Sarah and I both use it all the time in the gym. Obviously breaking it into Apple first of all, because that's the theme we're going with. So if we bob into the workouts, we've got 45-minute workout, 489 active calories, 566 total, average heart rate at 130, and looks like my max was 159. Pop into Whoop, so we've got functional fitness process. So interestingly, obviously 361 on the calories on the Whoop compared to 566 calories on Apple, so that is a big difference. An average heart rate was 126 as compared to a 130. Interestingly, my Whoop max heart rate was 163 compared to my max heart rate here as a 159. So my Whoop was average less, but max was higher. On a workout side of view, I'm gonna give the score to the Whoop for the fact that if you haven't started your workout, you're halfway through your workout, or you finish your workout and you haven't set it, Whoop will have analyzed the data regardless. So you never have to worry as much about starting that workout. Whereas Apple, like, you have to do it. Otherwise, after the workout, you will have no data to look at. You won't be able to see your max heart rate. You won't be able to do anything like that. Whereas Whoop, you can. So in terms of a workout, what they do in the workout, I would say they're pretty similar. But it's just for that factor, I'm going to give another score to Whoop. So it's Whoop 2, Apple 0. What's up, YouTube? Some time has elapsed and we've been doing a lot of work. We have a 8-week accountability challenge. It's our third one with the Academy. So our biggest one yet. There's some sick prize up for grabs. So we've kind of just been setting everybody up and making sure everyone's ready to roll Monday. It's now like 3 o'clock. And our biggest worry is trying to get a run in before it starts going dark. The joys of living in Manchester. The whole focus behind this run is not to set any world-breaking numbers. I'm not looking to hit any PBs. what I basically want to do is just obviously show you the difference between how Whoop tracks are run and how Apple tracks are run, so we can obviously compare the two when we're back at home. And obviously at the moment we are 2-0 to Whoop, so it'll be interesting to see who passes the run test. Here we go.
Oh, there's about 500,000 people there though. Okay, run done with run done on our way home, and then I'll give you a little comparison of the runs. Wasn't so basically I'm on a big limp right now, so not because it's basically like I pooed myself walk. Basically yesterday Sarah and I must have done we did 10 rounds of like running and skipping, and that was it. That was the workout. So like getting better as well at double unders, and the worst thing about double unders is it just hurts your calves. So I'm feeling a bit broken today, so running was not easier, and this is about to go green. What's the right colour? But weirdly when I run it feels fine. Like now it's like but when I'm running it's absolutely fine. I don't know what it is. So yeah, we're gonna hobble home, and then and then I'll give you the debrief.
Okay, back home now, and time for the results. I will start with Apple first. Outdoor run 2.6k, active calories 181, total calories 204, elevation gains, it tells you obviously like how low and high you were, average cadence, average heart rate, average pace. Then you can like break down into your splits, which I always think is quite good. The ability to then look at your breakdown is obviously very, very handy. Then if we go into Whoop, compare the calories kind of front, so obviously calories 206, calories 198, so that is very similar. So when probably you'd have hoped that was probably about accurate on the 200 front. Average 157, whereas average on Apple was 171. That's quite a big difference on that one, I would say. But obviously you're going to get your distance, you're going to get a pace. What I would say is on the running front, I'm going to give the score to Apple. So giving that the score of now 2-1. The biggest reason I'm going to give it to Apple is because the watch, as I said, the watch breaks down those split timings, so it's so easy for you to see where you're improving, like at what kind of distance where maybe the pace starts dropping off, or like say if you're going a longer distance that you're actually able to sustain like the same amount of average pace the entire time, which might show that you could probably carry on for a little bit more. Like there's those split times I think are invaluable, and the fact that Whoop doesn't give you the split times I think is something they're seriously missing out on. Like in terms of an activity point of view and everything like that, that is probably everything I will go through. What I will do is I will catch you up in a bit, and I'm going to take you basically at the end of the day I'll just take you through what numbers, like my total calories for the day, kind of compare the different readings and give my kind of all-out conclusion on kind of pros and cons of each, and which one I would advise going for. So stick around, and I'll catch you up in a bit. Yes team, so I thought why not finish the video in the same place that it started. Results are in. So obviously at the moment we are looking at Apple 1, Whoop 2. So the biggest difference with Apple and Whoop is Whoop takes into consideration your cardiovascular strain, but Apple is more than user movement goal. So it establishes a total goal for the day, which is coming out at 2,739. Based on the steps of 12,000, I would probably say that's near about right. 850 calories I've got as a move goal. 1,200 is then what I've achieved today. It tells you how many minutes of exercise you did throughout the day. It tells you obviously your stand point of view, so obviously as well, like I've got 3 hours to still hit my goal. Sarah and I have actually figured it out because we will sometimes get the notification at exactly the same time. So it's like 10 minutes. Is it 10 minutes before the hour?
Yeah, 10 to.
Yeah, 10 to. we just think on a global scale, people are getting a note. Well, it depends what time zone you're in, but like you get a notification on your Apple Watch telling you to stand up. So that's quite good as well. I quite like that feature. It's just encouraging people to move. It's encouraging you to just get up and have a few steps around the flat or wherever you are. Tells you step breakdown. Tells you that in a distance. If you're a kilometer fan, you can see what your trends were. You can see like your whole breakdown of workouts. You can see the awards you've got over the periods. You can go against each other. So like I can go in and see Sarah's day. I can go in and see my mum's day, like Sarah's dad's day, my mate's day. So that's kind of like Apple on a whole. Obviously into the Whoop side of things, the first thing we're looking at is, as I said before, like the difference with Whoop and Apple is Whoop is looking at a cardiovascular strain on the day. So it's looking at how hard you worked in those 24-hour window of, and then you're kind of scoring out of 21. So it's saying for me why mine was 15.5, which you can scroll to your strain tab, and it's going to basically tell me that that was optimal for my recovery. So basically it's going to tell you, like it says here, about 18.8. That would be above my fitness, above my like recovery score, element, strain. So it's basically telling me that if I was to work that little bit harder than already I've done, I probably shouldn't do that, because it's promoting fitness gains over recovery gains, and recovery is obviously king. Then when we look at calories, 2,703 compared to an Apple or 2,739, like that's pretty like 36 calorie difference. That's pretty bang on. Like that's pretty consistent. One thing I would say with Whoop that I don't like is steps. Like I like knowing how many steps I do on a daily basis. So the fact that Whoop doesn't tell me that, I'm not a big fan of that. Doing steps, it's a great tool for creating energy balance, like helping with a fat loss point of view, being more active, and it's fantastic to obviously set a step goal and then aim towards that. So that's one thing I think Whoop are really missing a trick on. You can go in, you can see your weekly performance. I can see how I've done throughout the week. Obviously this is from the 28th September to the 3rd of January. So we can see the last week, look at it compared to other people. You've also got the ability to do that on a monthly kind of element, which is really cool. So it's insane. It's just data. It's like loads and loads of data telling me how many activities I had, what's best sleep performance, all this kind of stuff. Like what's like helping me and what's good for my recovery, what's not good for my recovery. You can go into your community. We've got like an Every Move gang, so if you want to join that, obviously like join. If you're on Whoop, you can see what's like my all-time. So my highest ever strain is 19.9 out, but then my lowest recovery score is 6. I almost died that day. Conclude the video out and take it off from there. I'm a little bit impartial with going for one option. I actually still wear an Apple Watch and I still wear a Whoop, because both serve me a purpose that the other one can't serve me. So on like a workout basis, like obviously sleep data and performance data, like Whoop, I would say win that hands down. But obviously Apple is a smartwatch. You still get like, I like the ability of having notifications and everything coming through the watch. If I need to set timers, I know it's lazy, I could just get my phone out of my pocket. It's just very easy having it on your wrist. Obviously, like things like the stopwatch, I use that all the time when we're coaching classes. And then obviously the ability to count the steps. Those two things that you can't do on one, then you can on the other. What that probably identifies though is if Whoop were to make like a little bit more of a smartwatch, maybe have a screen on, maybe count steps in, then that would be the whole package for me, and I'd probably opt towards Whoop. But because they don't satisfy those needs that I want from a watch, it's a difficult situation. So it depends as I said, it just depends what you want out from it. If you want a smartwatch and have a little bit of fun, get some data, then probably get the Apple Watch. But if you want to go that little bit deeper into data, into feedback, into everything to make you a better all-round athlete, perform better, like increase your sleep performance and just focus on like being obsessed with how much sleep you need to be getting on a daily basis, then obviously go for Whoop. It just depends what you want. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I can shed some light on kind of the two options. I get loads. The biggest question I get between Whoop and Apple is people asking me on my Instagram, why are you wearing 2 watches? Obviously, make sure you've dropped the video a like. Comment down below which team you are, if that is Whoop, if that is Apple. Make sure you've smashed that subscribe button as many times as you can. Make sure you've hit the notification bell so you get a notification next time a video's out. And I will catch you in the next one. I'll see you very, very soon. Stay safe, everyone. Out.